Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Wake Up Legendary. It's your boy, Dave Sharpe. Welcome, welcome, welcome into the house of boom. The house of boom, baby. We are going to be dropping more nuggets as we do every single day. And it's not a guru who drops nuggets. It's an everyday, well, I want to say ordinary, but really these folks, you folks, are ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things, just like me. I started out as an ordinary person, still am an ordinary person. Just realized that with the right information, with the right tools, with the right platform, I too could do extraordinary things. And my life over the past 13 years has been full of extraordinary adventures, all the way from a construction site just getting clean in 2010 to living a life way beyond my wildest dreams. And you hear that, and you have heard that roughly 815 times on these episodes every single morning, where we have a guest on who shares their story and their experience and is on the beginning stages of living their life beyond their wildest expectations, whether that was just simply getting their first commission on the internet or whether that was beginning to phase out of their job, going from full-time to part-time, whether that was actually quitting their job, whether that was just adding more security and maybe more fulfillment and more passion to their work, something that they may not have felt in a long time. A lot of times, I'm not talking about burning bushes here, folks. When I say living life beyond your wildest dreams, I'm talking about things that are actually reasonable and achievable, but many of us had given up hope on them because we'd been living the way that we lived within this matrix, within this system for so long. And this morning, you're going to hear from our guest, who is a full-time artist and is building her new dream life through the power of digital marketing. Judy, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks, Dave. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I am so thrilled to have an artist on the show this morning. Tell us about what kind of art you do.
Well, for many years I did stained glass, and then I had to stop that. I had a gallery of stained glass and fine art and so forth for almost 18 years. Wow. And then I got blood poisoning from doing the stained glass, and I had to stop. And yeah, it was a heartbreak because I thought that's what I'm doing with my life. And so I had to stop. And when I was on my detox program, which is about 3.5 years or so now, I just fell into this other medium, which is, alcohol ink. So now I'm an inker full time. I went down the rabbit hole for that, and I opened another gallery, and I have my own brick and mortar business. I've had galleries here in Cambria for almost 18, 19 years now. So, and it's fun. I love the business, but there's not a ton of money in it. I do okay, but for an artist, I do pretty well, actually. Yeah. But I also, you got to raise the money by having the doors open, and that's the hard part. But yeah, I love art. I do a ton. You can see a geisha girl in the background. That's my stained glass piece.
Beautiful.
From a long time ago, but.
Well, many of us know stained glass from, being in churches, right?
Yes,
stained glass in churches.
Yes,
that's where
beautiful.
Most of us have been exposed to stained glass, but it's truly a beautiful form of art. I happen to be in the I don't know if it's the epicenter, but we're lucky enough to have in St. Petersburg, Florida, a Chihuly museum.
Oh, yeah. Amazing.
Okay? Who is a epic glass artist.
Yes.
And we actually have a couple of little, at least one that I'm thinking of, and I think there's others, kind of sub businesses by the Chihuly Museum where they kind of show you how to blow glass.
Yes.
And all of the different things that you can do. Now that may be a slightly different form of art, but I'm just thinking.
It is. It's all glass because we have a blower up here in Harmony, and he does classes for people, and it's a really amazing thing.
Yeah, it really is. Well, wonderful. We actually took a group of legendary marketers one time to the Chihuly Museum at
Oh, very fun.
that we held in St. Petersburg back in, I think, 2018. So very, very cool. So what
Yeah.
led you to legendary? I mean, what were you looking for? Do you feel like you found it? I mean, tell us the story of discovering us and beginning this journey.
Yeah, this is, and I want to say I'm probably not your typical, coming off of your interview yesterday, I was like, oh shit. That girl was effing amazing. And she was just like a rock star for sure. And I was like, and then here I come. And I was a little like, okay. Plus also the sailboat girl. I mean, oh my God. So my story is probably more typical. I don't have great results yet, but I've learned so much. But I started probably in May, I first saw it. And I think it's not typical story in the sense that I was scrolling bored. I was at work. I'd already done enough art for the day, and I was waiting for customers to come into the, brick and mortar. So I was just kind of wasting time. And I had been finding that I was wasting time for a while, like, and throughout my day. And I just happened to fall across, M. And I saw that and I went, what is that? And I don't know why. I hit it. I scrolled it. I never even contacted her. I just went right from that link right to you. And by day 3, I was like, I'm all in. I'm doing this. I might as well spend my time learning instead of wasting it and becoming a mushroom. So it really hit home fast. And ironically, I love that you're here and I'm talking to you because on the 3rd day I went, I'm going to do an interview with that guy. I'm going to meet Dave. And I totally manifested it.
Here we are.
I know. And I go, and I'm not signing up for it. I'm waiting for them to come to me. So it was really cool. When I got this call, I was like, the universe provides. Totally. But it's been an amazing journey and emotional and, a little bit empowering as well. You don't know what you're looking for till you find it. And that old saying of, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I think that really had a lot for me. But, and I'm not going to downplay this, but I'm almost 62 in a couple more days. I had no tech experience, none. And I had, in fact, it was like one of those things I just stayed away from. I didn't have a TikTok account. I didn't even think about having any of this stuff. I had a Facebook for my business, but I rarely did anything on it. So I'm square zero right now, starting out. And I have to say that I'm pretty amazed that though I'm not like financial, I'm not saying I'm doing $10,000 a month like a lot of these people are, but I have learned so much. And, something about that really fires you up. Totally. Getting your brain going again and going, I can learn this stuff and I can follow directions pretty well. And so I'd always have it up and doing my thing. And it just resonated.
Yeah.
It's resonated.
What ways have you felt empowered? You said that you felt empowered. Talk to us about that. Tell us what that means for you.
For me, I always thought I would do the art business, but like I said, it makes enough money to get by. It makes enough money to help a little bit with expenses here, but it's not enough to where I feel like, and I didn't even know I had this problem, but I felt like I'd lost my voice a little bit in my decision process. So if you don't have enough money to invest, let's say, in a house, then how can you contribute your opinions or in a remodel in your backyard or whatever? It's like my boyfriend's carried us for a long time. And so if I wanted an opinion, I needed to be able to contribute more. And I just realized I gave that up very freely. I was in corporate for about 20 years and I made good money then, but I got out of that rat race. And when I made this lifestyle change, somewhere along the line, I just started giving it up freely, and I've had a great life and I love being an artist and I love having a studio, but it's just not enough. It's not enough. And I think all of a sudden I realized what I've been missing, and I didn't even know I was missing it until I started this program. So that's kind of neat too. It's allowed me to take a little look at my insides and think, what's missing here? And what have I given up and what can I take back? And so a little bit, that's my platform for women and other people is take your power back, get your voice back. You should be in control, of your decisions, not based on your finances, but based on your heart. And that's really what I've been trying to accomplish. And I feel like I'm probably jabbering a lot, but
I love this. Just keep talking.
Yeah. Well, I feel as though I had to start over and sort of break myself down a little bit and take a look inside and then rebuild that and then decide wholeheartedly sort of what I wanted out of life and what role I was going to have in that. And honestly, if I hadn't have found this program, I don't know that I would have, done that searching. So the first month or so, I literally was like breaking myself down going, okay, like, how did I get in this position? And then you have to get a little over the guilt of the fact that I've invested a lot of time and money and resource into a business that I love, but I know is not going to be my final answer. I have to find something else. And so this makes sense.
I just want to tell you that as you thought you were blabbering, people are just like, you had just empowered me with your ordinary story. Me too. OMG. So me. I crave independence. So relatable. This is super encouraging. I've struggled thinking I wouldn't be successful when I'm in sales. Good stuff. I totally hear you. Yes, same. Take your power back. Sing it. Just this, you, it's so funny how we think that, what a powerful message, I'm going to be 50, no tech skills, still trying to get it together, start in July, still trying to do a funnel, but I'll get there, get that damn funnel done. Exactly the way I feel. I'm so happy to find someone who is 60 and trying to make this work. There's a lot of people who are 60, prosper with Connie.
We're an old bunch.
There's actually more people than you would think. It's just, I think that, for we all have our own liking gap. And this is a true phenomenon that happens. And I talk about this a lot on the show, where we think that people are going to like us less than they actually do. And that's just the simplest way to say that. And that's just what the liking gap is. It's a true phenomenon. It's got its own Wikipedia page and everything. Everybody should look it up, because it's a real psycho thing that, it's psychological. It's all in our head, and it has nothing to do with reality. And we just really think, well, I don't really have a story, or that person there did a great wake up show, but mine's just going to be old plain Jane vanilla, or that, and it's like, what you just shared was like one of the most powerful things that I've ever heard shared on the show.
What?
Just in terms of, yes, girl, yes. And just because I think that here's what really I heard that really stood out to me, and I want you to say more about this, is that we don't really know what we don't know until we get in there. And there's so many people who sit on the sidelines who want all the answers before you start, and it's just impossible. It's impossible for us to help you if you're on the sidelines. And most importantly, which this is where all of the answers are going to come from, as you are actually going through training, beginning to go and apply what you're learning, you are going to have thoughts that bubble up from the depths. The deep oceans of your conscious and subconscious. They are going to bubble up right up to this old neighborhood right here. And it's going to be like, I never thought of that. Just like what you just said, I never realized that my feelings of maybe feeling like I didn't have a voice, or maybe feeling like my voice didn't matter as much in a relationship, for example, was because of some financial thing that I
Yeah.
just didn't even realize was that big of a thing until I started to go through this and connect the dots. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, no, it's exactly right. And I've always been, I'm not shy by any means. And, I have an amazing support system, in my life with my boyfriend and my family. They're always encouraging. And I want to just clear, he's not ever made me feel like I don't have a voice. This is an internal, like in my head thing where I've always been independent and I've always paid my own way. And when you find yourself not doing that, you have to kind of come to terms with who you are and redefine yourself. I don't want to define myself by money by any means, but for me, defining myself a little bit as an independent person who has exactly an equal say in my life decisions. And I should be in the driver's seat for my dreams. And if I want to buy a house, I shouldn't wait for somebody else to do that for me. If I want to go on vacation, I shouldn't wait for someone to pay for that for me. I mean, it's important to go, this is what I want to do today. I'm going to do it. And I have the means to do that. And, it's so easy to let life just sort of take you through it and go with the flow. But like I said, it's not an easy thing to get off that track, learn something new, and give yourself some hope. And that's what this program has really done for me. It's opened things in my life that I didn't even know. Like I said, don't know that I didn't know, because I started taking a manifestation class.
Ooh.
I started really empowering myself in yoga. I took a course with Matthew McConaughey and the Tony Roberts thing, and that was amazing. But all of a sudden, I'm just on a whole different trajectory that it never really was even in my thought pattern before. Yeah. And it's all about growing and learning at this point. And, I recommend it highly to everybody. Learn, grow, don't get stagnant,
This reminds me of sort of something that's been said in recovery programs, 12-step programs and so forth that I've been a part of for the past, 15 years, which is that, everybody can use a recovery program, and I almost feel sorry for people who feel so lonely and feel like they don't have a personal development program to be able to follow, because people spend thousands of dollars, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars going to seminars and chasing motivational gurus who end up being predators and all kinds of weirdos out there. And for me, I got awarded, essentially gifted, for being a drug addict, a homeless drug addict. I got gifted a free 12-step program that saved my life and that I've been involved in. I took it, right. I did. Right? I took it and ran, right? But it's like, for many of my friends and I have said over the past 15 years that, golly, man, it's like, we know friends and family members and all this, and we become the ones who are healthy, and we start to look around at other people and realize they've kind of stayed stagnant for years and they aren't really growing. And golly, everybody could use a program of personal development and recovery. We're all kind of recovering from something, but, this kind of reminds me of that this journey, legendary marketer, for example, is sort of a doorway, or can be a doorway if you grab it and choose it. Like you just said to me, I'm going to say that now to you. You have grabbed this and you have turned this from some little kind of, okay, am I going to spend $7 and get rich right away? Or is this a scam? Or all the other things that we can approach, skepticism and all the different kind of, negative projections and fears and limiting beliefs that we can place on things. You've kind of come in and you've said, hey, I'm a grown adult here. I'm going to check this out. I'm going to see what this is. Nobody can take my credit card out of my wallet, make me put it in the computer. Nobody's going to, I can take care of myself. I'm going to try this out. And if it's not for me, then I'll quit. But if it is, then hey, and all of a sudden now you've stepped into sort of, it's become a doorway for your personal development transformation. And you're on a path that's not only about making money. It's not just, and that was one of the things that, you said at the beginning of the show, I'm not making $10,000 a month like other people. Well, you know what? You are having transformation and change that will absolutely, if you stay on this path, lead to $10,000 months. And you're having this kind of emotional, mental, spiritual transformation that's going to lead to not only massive financial transformation, because it does. People who work on themselves first and have a plan for business tend to make a lot of money. Whereas some people get lucky with money, don't do the work on themselves, and then oftentimes lose the money because they don't really know how they got it in the first place. And so you're also going to get a lot of fulfillment out of this.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think you
And
all
even besides, with all of that being said, that takes some time. And so I feel like I'm a little snail coming into this, whole path, but I'm taking the time that I need. And, like I was telling Joanne, I screwed up so many things with this because I didn't know what I was doing, but I'm like, oh, I can follow directions. And I have a little bit too much self-confidence sometimes. So like, I never thought, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it. It just was a matter of like, let me go through these steps. And in a month, I'll be so super successful. Yeah. And, I was telling her how it was interesting because I came in with like gangbusters and I thought, I'm going to build a new website. I'm going to pick a niche. I'm going to, and I did all these things in like a month and I finished the program. I had funnels going. I had this going. I wrote an ebook. I was like, oh my God, I'm on fire. But none of it was working. And I blew up my funnels and I couldn't figure out how to get back to them. And TikTok banned me. And then I was doing some ads with Facebook. I'm banned for life from Facebook. So this is going to be a problem. I was just starting to get some, headway with them. And they're like, nah, we're shutting your butt down, So I'm like, okay, I got to go back to organic and think, I got a little squirrely and thought I was going to do all the things all at once. And that's when I realized, like whenever I was struggling with something, I would come back to Legendary and I go reread that, rewatch that, and it would get me back on path. And so there was something to that I realized, like I got on somebody's email, I think, list, and I started getting all this stuff thrown at me as happens. You get all the shinies thrown at you. And I thought, oh, this is how you do this. You get all these things and they're telling you which ones that you should take. So I started following all these paths and I went very squirrelish and nothing got accomplished. And it didn't feel right, and I was like, something's not right. I'm not doing this right. And I would stop and come back to Legendary and I go, this feels good though. So it's listening to your intuition when you think you're doing everything right or wrong, but if it doesn't feel good, then you're kind of you're swerving here. I was trying to do too much too soon for my path. I'm learning from square one every aspect of this business, and I never made a video of myself in my life, but I counted last night on TikTok. I have over 300 and something of them. Like every day, post, and they're fun to do. I mean, I'm having a ball doing them, but it's like kind of, yeah.
I want to comment on that real quick. The kind of getting ahead of yourself and getting subscribed to people's list and then starting to take too many recommendations at one time. I want to just say something about that because
don't do it.
very, very common. Yeah. The short advice is don't do it.
Yeah.
But the thing about Legendary that a lot of people don't realize is that Legendary we have kind of a commitment to be a non-shiny education platform, meaning that we're not emailing. Sometimes you get in these companies, some software does it. I mean, ClickFunnels does it, System does it, all these different guys do it.
Yeah. I got them all.
You sign up for their thing and God love them. I don't have anything against them. It is what it is. It's the typical way to make money online. Is you get somebody to sign up for your thing, whatever your thing is, and then you just pound them with 50 million different offers every week. This week it's this course, this week it's that course, this week it's this software, that next week it's that software. And that's the way to make a lot of money. if you are the one who's sending the emails and you're marketing the products and services.
That's what I figured out.
The problem is that your students or your clients or whatever never actually get any results because you're inundating them and overwhelming them with a million different offers, 1 to 2 new things every week. Plus come to this event. Plus I got a new course. Plus here's this thing you can sell. Plus here's a new software. Plus go check this guy out. Plus go check that cat out. And it's so you have to be careful as a student, as a new client of any new company that you sign up to, or new guru or new email list that you get on, that you are going to get inundated with all kinds of shit, most of which you don't need, and most of which the sender or the marketer that's sending the emails hasn't even tried the things. There's no rhyme or reason to why they're sending those emails. They're just simply adding products to their email list, blasting them out, trying to see who will buy what, and basically make commissions on whatever they can make commissions on. There's nothing wrong with that. Most companies do that. You just want to be the one who's sending the emails. Don't think that you're going to get on somebody's email list or you're going to sign up to 99% of companies and actually learn a damn thing, because you will walk away confused and overwhelmed. Now,
that's what happened.
Hear me out on this. Legendary Marketer has an email list of, millions of people. Okay. And we have hundreds of thousands of actual students here that have paid for our training, that if we wanted to, we could send an email every day with a new course, with a new affiliate offer, with a new software, with a new this, with a new that, and we could inundate the absolute living shit out of our community. All of you who are listening, I could be writing the emails, or Joanne could, and we could be sending a different offer every day telling you this is the new secret to your success. This is the new secret to your success. And you know what? We would make a lot more money, folks. We as a company would make more money doing that. I want everybody to hear this. We would make more money doing that, sending something new every day or every week. But the reason why we don't is because it's really, really, really important to us that our clients actually get results with our training and from our community. And we found, here's our sort of secret to success, is that if people do get results, then we can have a shitload of testimonials, real live testimonials, which is why we have over 820 actual, these are testimonials. I mean, when somebody comes on this show, yes, it's an interview. Yes, it's edutainment, but it's also a testimonial to our, our training, our platform, the clarity of what we do here, the simplicity of it, how good it is that people want to come back and actually talk about. And we make up for the sales that way. We make up for the sales by
I think that's actually really smart to say. In fact, I wish there was more of that in the modules, because as a newbie, when you're really a true newbie like I am, it's easy to think, oh, this is the path. Oh, I'm supposed to do this, because we don't know. And it took me about a month, maybe a month and a half, honestly, of getting all inundated of all these emails and courses and all these things. And all of a sudden I go, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to take these. I'm supposed to be selling those, or not even that. But I think what you have to do is you have to listen to your gut and don't ignore your gut. And when I decided I'm just on somebody's email list, delete, and then go find the products that I want to promote, which honestly is you guys. The one thing that I've stayed very consistent on is I'm an affiliate for Legendary, and I love that. And that's my thing. Get your education, then figure out what to do with it. Get your education, and that's everything that I post, because I don't need to make, $10,000, $20,000 right now to be successful. I feel like I've found something that resonates. And for me, that feels healthy and good, and I'll see where it takes me. But I just found that whenever I got a little confused on the shinies, that I would come back and I go, okay, go back to the basics. And it's really important. It's really important to listen to that because it's really easy to get caught up in it all because there's a lot to it.
And part of, when somebody starts the blueprints, for example, we kind of do an exercise of decluttering.
Yes.
And we do talk quite a bit about unsubscribing from email lists, not getting inundated on 1,000 different email lists. But you know what? The truth is that a lot of times you have to kind of discover that on your own.
You do.
No
And
matter
also,
just imagine this. Imagine if this was our message. Don't go and look at anything else.
yeah.
Don't think about a pink elephant. Don't think about a pink. What do? You think about a pink elephant. And I mean, you all, just like me, are rambunctious and rebellious people who don't want to be told what to do. So we do our best to try to warn people that if you sign up to too many email lists, if you start doing comparisonitis and if you turn back into a consumer of other people's shit on everybody else's email list, then you are going to be just that. You need to be the one selling stuff, not buying stuff all the time, which is one of the reasons why we have an appetizer and a meal. And we can make more money by selling endless amounts of courses and different shit for, months and months and years. But the fact is that, again, we've made a choice here to make the blueprints our flagship program. And when somebody buys that, it's like we want to give them everything that they need to be able to be successful. And then most of the time what happens is they do go out there and get lost in the sauce out on the internet marketing guru gauntlet. I call it the guru gauntlet. Everybody's got to have one run down the guru gauntlet. And just get your head slapped by all of the overwhelming shit. And then usually they come back and go through the damn course that they bought in the first place here at Legendary.
That's what I'm doing. I'm redoing it.
I had everything that I needed here. And hopefully people on this, on this show and on the show every morning and with, in the various coaching classes and stuff that we have here in Legendary, hear that, show up and go through the damn thing that you bought, right? Because as you're kind of saying really clearly this morning, I actually just went through the damn stuff step by step, learned and listened how to do it. And now I'm not still in getting ready to get ready mode, which is where most people are. Most people, even after they buy the damn course and buy the program, they're like, where should I start? Well, go through the damn thing and learn how to do it. And you'd be amazed at what you learn, right?
I want to say I have Forrest Gumped myself through every piece of this. Literally Forrest Gumped myself through it. I didn't know anything. And if you can just follow directions. And there were times that I broke things and I had to go back and fix them. And like, why is that not working? And what happens if this happens? And I was really proud of the fact that through this education and going back and watching Ryan again, or going back to my funnel module, I was able to find my errors and fix them. And, it's very cohesive and it's there. It's like, to me now, I feel like I have a puzzle piece here and here and here, and I just need to figure out how to make the picture happen. And repetition, going back over, I did sign somebody up I got the big one, so I was excited about that. But as she was going through it, I was sort of sitting with her going through it and listening to the 15-day challenge all over. And I went, I forgot to do that. I need to go back and go to the basics again. So I've actually restarted my course because I also had, last month was an odd month. I fell and broke my foot and then I cracked a little rib. So I was sort of down and out, but it was a time where I could sit down with my computer on my lap and just sit here without, because half the time I'm doing this at work with clients coming in, putting it on hold, helping them, going back to it, because I have a little downtime there. So it's kind of nice in a way to I had uninterrupted time to go over things. But I think you kind of have to fit it into your lifestyle. That's fine. But
I want to welcome Rhino back from the Guru Gauntlet. He says, I just came back from my gauntlet. legendary as the true school for those who need it. They are
Yeah.
above the gurus. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that I mentioned the Guru Gauntlet, because
Yes.
many in the comments are like, yeah, I just got back from the ClickFunnels Guru Gauntlet, or I
Yes.
went through this Guru Gauntlet or that. And look, I'm not saying these, some of these, you look at Russell Brunson, and I
Yeah.
mean, he's an old time buddy of mine who's been
Yeah.
in the game for a very long time, very smart marketer, but he makes his money by making a different offer all the time. If you just went to the ClickFunnels
He's
event,
got too much energy for me, though. I can't watch him more than 5 minutes, and I'm like, my head's spinning, and I want to blow up. So
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I can't.
I mean, he's a very
He's so excited.
intelligent guy. So excited. He's very knowledgeable about marketing. But
Yes.
ClickFunnels, if you're not careful, you sign up for the software, and and if you're taking 50 different things, you have to be careful. I mean,
Yes.
and there's no way for us. We can't protect everybody from everything. We're not here to coddle people. You need to really understand that you don't need everything. You buy one thing, you go through it, and you apply what the hell you learned. And if you need more, then you can go out and be conscious, make a conscious, be purposeful about what you're going out to learn. If you need to learn something else, and if you're a blueprint client, come and exhaust all your resources here first.
Oh yeah.
Show up to one of our coaching calls. Go to Decade in a Day. Go back through what you already bought. Hell, go back through the challenge if you so choose. You had mentioned going back through stuff. Go back through it. See what you missed. You would be amazed by, after a couple of months of experience of out there doing your thing, you come back through, you watch.
It makes more sense.
Like, wow, it's like reading a book.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah. I didn't realize that. I didn't notice that coming through. So we have to be good stewards of our own money. We have to be good stewards of our own time. Just because you are becoming an entrepreneur, and this idea of investing in yourself is something that is becoming maybe a new term for you. Don't go from one end of the spectrum to the other, to where you didn't do shit to invest in yourself for years, but now all of a sudden you're going into debt, throwing all your money away. You've got 15 different courses, 15 different softwares. Don't do that. That you are digging your own grave when you do that. Be patient and squeeze every last drop out of what you have bought, and learn to be resourceful. Most of you who are complaining about being confused or feel like you're struggling, you're addicted to struggle, and you need to stop being addicted to struggle and start looking at the glass half full instead of half empty, and stop focusing on what you're struggling with and focus on what you're succeeding with, and just talk about that more often. And when you're having a challenge, say, I'm overcoming this. Stop being addicted to struggle. But the other thing is that you've been irresponsible with your resources, and you're not resourceful, meaning that even if you did buy the blueprints, you didn't go through them. So now all of a sudden you thought you needed to buy something else, and then you thought you needed to buy something else, simply because you did not know how to be resourceful with the resources that you used. And what does that look like? That looks like taking the time to go through the damn thing. People walk around, for example, with a Bible. They say, I'm religious. Tell me what's in there. Tell me what, right? You ain't religious if you walk around with a Bible. If you're reading something and you're walking it, then I've got respect for you. But don't just put something in my face and tell me that you're better than me because you carry something around. That's BS, right? So we have to be the same way. If we buy a course, and I don't care if it's here or if it's anywhere else, be a good steward of your own money and time, and go through the dadgum thing, and you will be amazed by how much value you get. You'll be amazed by how not confused you are anymore.
And every time I felt that way, because I have gone through that thing from top to bottom, and I love it because there's so much. I mean, it takes months to go through it all, honestly, months, because there's a lot there. And I like that, because I could be a perpetual learner, which, you can get, that's another problem.
It's a trap. That can be
a trap.
Right? So that's why we recommend people, and we kind of talk about this on the Decade in a Day. If you have zero experience, start with the affiliate marketing blueprint, go through that in a 10 decade in a day and get started with affiliate marketing. Then over time, you can expand into another niche if you want, or if you want to create your own digital product, you can. But absolutely, when I created the core 4 concept of courses, coaching, events, and then affiliate marketing, and then bundled those together as a offer that you could get all 4 for the price of one going through the challenge, the thought process was, I really want somebody to have everything that they will ever need to have a business on the internet. You should never have to buy another course.
Yeah, I
know
believe
that's a bold statement. I know that's a bold statement, but you should never, unless you want to do some sort of personal development seminar or something like that, there is nothing outside of those 4 blueprints, what we teach on the Decade in a Day, what we talk about here on this show. There is nothing outside of Legendary that I use besides a 12-step recovery program and therapy. There is nothing outside of the knowledge right here within this company that I have used for the past 13 years. And this company this year actually eats its own cooking. So we sell courses, coaching, events, and do affiliate marketing, exactly what we teach. And we're on the path to do $60 to $70 million in sales this year.
Yeah.
What more do you need, or do you think you need, that I don't need in order to be successful?
As a new person, though, you don't know that. You have some, you got all this great experience. And for those of us who, this is a brand new language and world that we're coming into. And you have to follow some of the shinies to go, oh, wait a minute, that's not the right way. And I have to say that every time I watch Wake Up Legendary in the morning, I put my earphones on, I do my walk, and, I get some inspiration. Every time I go back through a module, I get some nugget of something that's super helpful. And, I spent a long time on affiliate marketing to realize that that's probably not like Amazon and all those things. I don't want to do that. That's just not where I want to go. I know the concepts all work because you see it work, but I know it's allowing me to move into digital products and creating my own. And so you kind of go through each transition, and I haven't even looked at the, masterminds and stuff modules yet because I'm not there. And it's kind of set up in a nice way, to go through it systematically.
Have you seen how you can take, if you wanted to, some of your knowledge about art and package that now?
Yes.
Even if it was in just simple videos behind a very simple paywall, or videos inside of a paid Facebook group. Have you seen how you can take and package your information and go from the one who's doing the work to the one who becomes the teacher, one to many?
Yeah, because I've taught workshops for years until COVID, and you had to shut them all down. So I know how to teach workshops. I like doing them. They're very productive, one-on-one live. So I've now, I changed phones. I used to have one step up from a flip phone. And I have this little tiny crappy computer that I do everything on, that the screen's about this big and I can't even read half the stuff unless I blow it up. But I see the new path that I need to take. I've got a new phone. I'm getting a new computer. I've got some lighting stuff I invested in. I'm setting up workshops. I've written them all as courses already, but I just haven't videotaped them just yet. So it's allowing me to see beyond what I had going,
right?
Which is key.
I don't have my marketing shades here, but I always do put the sunglasses on, and it's your marketing shades. You can sort of see, money making possibilities more clearly now, but you can also see why people are doing the things that they're doing online.
Yes.
It actually makes sense now, whereas before it was like, what the hell is actually going on the internet?
I can look at an ad and go, oh, there's a funnel. Oh, I know how that's going to, So I feel like I've turned around that whole aspect of how I see things 100%. And that's all due to Legendary. So I have no doubt that this is the path I'm going to take for the rest of my life. It's just, I'm going to be one of those slow burners because I do have businesses and I do know it takes time. And I'm not going to get frustrated. And I have a great support team. I just got my daughter signed up. So, and she took the blueprints as well. So she was my one big sales, like, hey, there's my daughter. Yay.
Jeez,
but
jeez.
but still, and I've got I can see all of the tiny, wonderful, value that I have created and learned and moving towards. And so, it's just, you have to take your time and do it in the way that works for you
Yeah.
and what makes sense to you. And I've learned that I don't want to affiliate market a million products. I don't want to do that. I want good, feel good products that help people. And so developing that in my own self first, and then developing it to where something I can market. Those were thoughts I never even had before. So, to me, that's all very successful and great.
Yeah.
Joanne told me to tell this story real quick. I was on that, phone call with M, and she was doing a hot seat, and I was watching that, and I had no idea how to raise my hand. So I did this, I'm like, somebody call on me. And they were laughing because they're like, somebody answer that girl with her hand up, because in Zoom, I didn't know how to do it. And so, you get resourceful and you figure out within your means how to get noticed. And that's how I did it. She goes, tell that story, because so many people get on and they don't know how to raise their hand. And I thought it was like this. And I think you just have to learn. And now I know how. Now I can make a video and I can put words on it. Now I can do the stop things and, all these things that I never knew how to do. And that is learning. That's growing.
Well, and think about this. I mean, you mentioned your daughter. I mean, you never know what the hell's going to happen. I mean, for me, my dad and I started out in construction, and then I kind of, he supported me, like, and I got great parents. I mean, they did the best that they could for me.
Sure.
I was a wild child, and
me too.
Very wild,
Very wild. Me too.
Very wild. I pray to
that
God.
was actually my handle, the wild child.
Pray to God my kids are not even remote.
Yeah, mine aren't either. They're so mellow.
Yeah, I know. My oldest is wonderful. But my father let me sleep on his couch when I was getting clean. And I was 24 years old, really needed him to help me save my life. And he did. He lived in a one bedroom studio apartment. It was a little apartment above a house. It wasn't even in like apartment complex. And he was just struggling with his own alcoholism and, just kind of working construction, doing his thing, kind of getting by, dealing with his own issues. And,
as we do.
Yeah, he let me in. He let me sleep on his old dusty construction couch, I went to work with him construction for a while, and then finally just was like, this sucks. I was like, God, man, this is hard work, man. This guy is a beast, And so I've stayed clean, and 6 months after I got clean, he got sober, right, and started on that journey with me. Still to this day sober. He supported me kind of going off on my own, cutting the old umbilical cord.
Yeah.
And, I went and got rich on the internet and came back and, took care of him.
History.
Took care of him.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Took care of him. And so, I heard your story about your daughter, and just, you never know what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah. She's an artist as well. So she worked at the studio. I gave her a job, and all my income went to her to pay for her, because that's what you do as a parent. But she 5 days ago had a baby, and her goal is, so I've lost my employee, which means I'll probably make a little more money now, but that was her motivation. She wants to be a stay-home mom. And I'm like, this is your route right here. And if I didn't believe in it, I would not have had my daughter go into it for sure. So I think that's a big statement. Before I have enough faith in you guys and this process that before I made a penny, I got my daughter into it.
Yeah.
Months down the road, so I made a video, my last closing mark here. I know you're trying to close it up, but I did make a video after that. And I said, you know what? I lost my faith today. And it was true, because I always had faith this would work. And then when it did, it's like, it's not faith anymore. I just know it. Now it's fact. It works. Yeah. And I think that's a neat aha moment when you go, okay, I've talked somebody into something that I believe is going to help them in their life.
Yeah.
That's a real addicting thing.
Yeah.
And, you just have to believe it, and you just stay on the course no matter what happens.
Yeah, for sure. And we have no idea what what you or your what is in you both's future. It's probably, if you
Right.
stick with it, it's probably much bigger and brighter than we can ever imagine. And I always say this, that if you were to try to guess where you'll be in, a year or two, and what you could
Right.
accomplish, that, you would shortchange yourself. You would really truly shortchange yourself. And I think that that's
Yes.
going to be true for you and your daughter. Here's the other thing that I say about this information and these skills is that whether you learn them from um, here, us at Legendary, or whether you learn, I just unmuted you, or I just muted you there for a second while I say this, because I heard the garbage can in the back. Must be taking your. It's fine. But I want everybody to hear this, folks. I'm being dead serious with you about this. I have enough confidence in what we market, our products, our education, our team here, our community. I really don't care if you learn these skills here or you can find somewhere else to learn them. Seriously. Like, if you find somewhere else that resonates more with you, you want to, you run through the guru gauntlet, and then all of a sudden you stop at door number 50 and you're like, oh, this guru is just my guru. Look, or you go to community college and you actually can find them teaching these skills, or you can, I don't care. You want to go to YouTube University, whatever it is, just learn them. I am so serious, because artificial intelligence, in the way that robotics, and you're already seeing it happen. You go into stores. You go into Walmart, you go into Target. What do they got? Well, all their checkout, all their cashiers, and this is just the most simplistic example I can give you. They got one person standing in the middle of 8 self-checkouts. Okay? That's the most simplistic version that I can tell you, that I can give you. But behind the scenes, robotics, artificial intelligence, all this kind of stuff, every single day are taking jobs. They're removing jobs. And people are smartening up also after COVID and everything happened. People don't want to go back to work. They don't want to go back to the office. They're looking for alternatives. And you know what? Here's the other thing that's changing, is that people don't want to buy from big, untrustworthy corporations anymore. They want to buy from people that they can trust and follow and watch their videos and content and listen to their stories on social media. That's a shift. That's why big corporations are now coming and hiring influencers to market their products, and they got to put the little hashtag ad down in the caption, because that's what the
It's the
majority
future.
of influencers are doing now, is they have been approached by large corporations who realize they have lost trust through typical TV commercials. People tune that stuff out, but people are listening to people on their phones, on social media. So look, friends, whether you learn this stuff somewhere else or whether you learn it here, learn it. Because otherwise you are going to be forced to go to the internet, because that's where all commerce is happening nowadays, unless you have to go down to the brick and mortar store and get your tire changed. Okay. But everything else is moving online, and you do not want to be using the old excuse. And, Judy, I hear this all the time, particularly with, older people. Well, I'm just not tech savvy, and they just check out. They just say, they act as if I could never learn. And you know what, friends? You need to learn. You
So
need.
many of my friends say, I'm so proud of you for doing this. I'm like, you can do it. And they're like, no, I don't do tech. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, it's
Right. I hear
frustrating
it
in
from
a way.
younger people too. I shouldn't single out. I
Yeah,
shouldn't
yeah, yeah.
single out, seniors or older folks or anything like that, because it's younger people too. And you know what? If you are a younger person and you're using that excuse, stop it. Anybody, no
You.
matter what your age is, stop it.
Everybody's capable of learning at any point in their life if you want it. and learning is just learning, repetition, do it, do it, do it, do it. I didn't know how to be an artist when I started. I didn't know how to do stained glass when I started.
Right.
You hone your skills. And I've done, even in this marketing business, I have learned so much. I've tried a bunch of things and I've gone, okay, that's not the route I want, but I tried it. You offload, sheath it off if you don't like it. Try something else, because there's a big, giant market out there for all different things. I've actually created 2 websites of different niches, and I was like test driving them, and I'm like, I never thought I'd do that. It's cool, but it's letting me kind of decide what I want to do and not want to do with it. I became an influencer. Oh my God. How did I get my, TikTok to 1,000 so fast? How did I get 2,500 on my Instagram? I don't know. It just happened, but that doesn't mean that's the right path for me just yet. And so you just keep trying things.
Around to teach that, though. I'm just telling you right now, as one last nugget to you, because you've given us so much value today. You need to turn around and teach that, Judy, because especially because you say this is your niche, digital marketing with Judy. And, we're grateful to have your support here at Legendary. And we love that people want to promote our courses, although it's certainly not a requirement, nor something that we even ask any of our students to do, because we want you to know that these skills apply to all niches and can be used in lots of different ways with lots of different products. But Judy, I just want you to know that what you have done over on Instagram, what you have done over on TikTok, is a big deal. A lot of people would love to know how to just simply get to 1,000 so they can put their link up there. And you teaching the kind of simplest, hey, how did I get my Instagram to 2,500 followers? Here's how I'm generating 5. When I first started, I didn't have huge results either. I'm talking about if I go back 12, 13 years. So you want to know what I talked about in my videos? I had the same exact challenge that all of everybody else has, which is, well, what do I talk about before I'm making tens of thousands of dollars? Yeah. Well, here's what I talked about. And I do say this a lot on Wake Up Legendary, but if you haven't heard me say this, hear me now. I would speak to the very newbie beginner who's always going to be your largest buyer. That's always going to be your most interested person. And you should always talk to that person in your content, because that's the biggest pool of prospects. I said, here's how I generated 3 fresh, high quality leads into my business.
That's true.
Yesterday. Opt into my page and I'll show you a brief 5-minute video that explains exactly how I do it, and my number 1 training that shows you exactly where I learned. See on the other side.
That's basically what I do, because I don't tote the numbers because I don't have them. So I'm all about like the education and, the course that you offer.
Sell your latest result. Sell your latest result. And it doesn't matter how big the result is. I need to see the word gold or platinum, if you think this is platinum, in the comments if you're picking up what I'm putting down here. Seriously, folks, I really want everybody to hear this. Sell your latest result. Stop, and I do mean stop comparing yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Unsubscribe from the people who maybe once inspired you, who maybe once unsubscribe from them. Stop looking at what they're talking about. Stop looking at what they're saying in their videos, and sell your latest result and make that result sound amazing. But get excited about it. Friend, I'm so glad you found this video. Tune in. I am going to explain to you how I am generating 3 high quality leads into my business. Now, why is generating 3 high quality leads into your business is so great? It's because I used to walk around and hand out business cards. And do you know that I handed out hundreds of business cards, maybe thousands of business cards in my lifetime? And do you want to know how many leads I generated from handing out, from going and focusing on getting my logo made and going to the printer and getting my business cards printed out and
all the old school stuff.
Carrying them around in my wallet or carrying them around in my car and saying, here's my business card. You want to know how many people called me about that? I don't know. Probably none. Right, none. But it made me feel important. It made me feel, until I realized that that was something that is a 1980 strategy. We
Yes.
are in 2023. And not only have I discovered the secret to generating 3 quality leads from the internet each and every day, or just simply I did it yesterday. I have realized that not only when I generate those leads, did I generate somebody into my sales funnel? Don't know what that is. I'll show you on the next page. I'll explain
Yeah.
that to you as well. But I realized that I could add those people to something called an email autoresponder, and I can
Yep.
follow up with those people on autopilot, even when I'm not in front of my computer, by the way that I set up this technology. That, my friend, is called leverage. And when you click the link in right up here above me, somewhere on this page, and you opt in and give me your email, I will send you the video, or you will find it on the next page where I will explain exactly how I'm doing this. Plus, the simple tools that I'm using and the course that I'm taking, how I'm learning how to do this, you can learn the exact same strategies. This is just an example of
Yeah,
how
that's exactly how I do it because
we
I have
sell
to.
we sell the latest result that we have. And
Yeah.
my friends, if you're not selling the latest result that you have, I don't care if it's one lead. I don't care if it's here's how I got to. I see people come into our Facebook groups all the time say, I'm only getting 200 views on my videos. I don't, sell that,
Yeah,
because there's a lot of
I
people out there.
average, like I said, I made over 300 videos easily, and I only average about 250. But that's 250 people I imagine in a room, every day with me that I'm talking to. And
Yeah.
out of that 250, I can see people who are always hearting and liking my stuff. And those are conversations that I'm working now, because you still have an audience there. And maybe some are just clicking through, but if they like your stuff, not just viewing it, then there's something that's resonating. And eventually they want to hear what you're saying. So,
That's right. That's right.
one on one or one on 200 or one on 1,000, just do it.
We need to really value and utilize and be resourceful with the results that we're getting. We've
Yes.
talked a lot about being resourceful, and that's really stemmed from you telling your story about how resourceful you're being. And we have to be resourceful. We have to squeeze the juice out of every result that we get. And what many of you don't realize is that you are upset because those 200 views aren't turning into commissions yet, but you need to sell those 200 views. You need to be
Yes.
teaching people, here's how I'm getting 200 views, because that is a result that a lot of people would love to be getting. And you'll be amazed once you start showing people how to get eyeballs. Here's how to be, very simply, getting 200 views on videos is you're turning from the hunted, handing out business cards, right? Out there knocking on doors, chasing friends and family, begging for, sympathy buys from whatever it is that you've done in the past, to now you're the hunted. People are watching your videos on autopilot. Here, how about this headline? Let me tell you how to get 200 people watching your video and listening to you speak when you're not at your computer, when you're off doing something else, taking a nap, sleeping, hanging out with your friends, hanging out with your kids. How to build an audience and have people listening to your message, listening to your products, listening to your services, listening to what you have to offer when you are not at your computer, and how to have a little army of salespeople out there explaining, selling, and telling your products and services all day on the internet for you with only 5 minutes of work per day.
Yes.
Yeah. What is that? What you're doing is you're putting a different, unique spin on
Yes.
just posting videos on dadgum social media.
Yeah.
You gotta sell the sizzle and deliver the steak, folks. This is a Kevin Harrington line, right? You gotta sell the sizzle, baby, and then deliver the steak. Sometimes we just want to say, well, I got a piece of meat here. I don't really know what to do with this piece of meat. Well, you gotta sell the sizzle and then deliver the steak. And that's what we do on social media. It's just like a fishing, right? With a fishing formula. I'm not throwing down a meal on a silver platter for a grouper to sit there and just feast on. I'm putting down a piece of bait and I'm yanking his ass up. That's the same thing with social media. I got to go out there and chum the waters and get people listening and looking at what I'm doing because I've put something out there that's actually attractive. I have to hype up and sizzle up whatever my results are or whatever the solution that I'm selling. So people actually, it sounds exciting to them, you know?
And the other thing is you've got to look at what you already have. Like, I feel like it's very important. Like, yeah, you could just keep making videos and likes, and you're getting it, but pay attention to that because these are people that you can talk to and nurture into finding out what's their problem and working with them. And I've got, even on TikTok, which is I always thought of as a younger audience, but I've got younger people asking me like, what is it you do? What's going on? So take that time. Don't just sell, take your time and get to know them and build a little relationship with them. And I'm finding that to be true. I've had 4, I think, people sign up for the program because of it. They haven't gone into blueprints yet, but at least they're thinking of it. And I think that's success for me, is like, I'm giving somebody some hope,
I love this. Prosper with Connie. There's a bakery here that pumps the smell of fresh bread out on
Yes.
the street. Hi, Connie. That is that's what you got to do.
Yes.
You got to sit there and pump the smell of whatever your product or service is and whatever niche you are. If you're doing dog training, you want to pump the smell of a well-behaved dog out on, your, I don't know what that smells like. You have to put off that energy, those vibes.
Yeah.
Make your training and the strategies that you're using to get your dog to be well-behaved there. Yep. You have to, it doesn't matter if it's a simple little feeding them treats and you don't think that's very exciting, so you don't really think that's worth talking about. It works. You got to make it sound exciting. I mean, a lot of this is, again, selling that sizzle. It's getting it, for me, I realized early on that, my passion and my excitement and how I can get excited was one of the, best marketing traits that I had, because people don't so much always remember what you say, but they remember the energy. They remember how you made them feel. So part of it is also getting excited about
listening to you.
Yeah. Well, you can't just go on to a dadgum video and go,
hi, I'm Judy.
Hi, I got 3 leads yesterday.
Exactly.
It was another day. You got to, hey, I got 3 leads. Imagine if you had 3 people knocking down your door, opting in, giving you their information. Imagine if you were the hunted instead of the hunter for just a day. Imagine what that would be.
And ignore the haters. You get comments. I get a ton of guys that are just trying to scam, for meeting and probably scamming your money. You have to just ignore those things. That was actually frustrating at the beginning because I was like, is there any real people there? But you can really recognize those things, and you just stay on your path and focus on that. And it becomes so obvious, and then it's like, it's second nature to go delete or block or whatever. And, your people will find you. And that's what I think about with my art too. I don't have to appeal to everybody, just my people, and my people will find me. And that's what you do. And whenever you get frustrated and tired or think it's not working, look back at what you have accomplished and then come do a legendary in the morning, because something, I always come away with a little nugget, always. Yeah. It's just a wonderful, powerful motivator, which I thank you for, David. It's amazing you do this.
I thank you for coming on and sharing your value and giving us so much experience. And it's turned out to be just a truly legendary episode this morning, even though that you thought you were going to come on and not compare to some of the previous episodes. This has been unbelievably refreshing. It's been unbelievably inspiring for somebody to come on and be so honest. You gave us your age, you gave us your what you do for a living. You were so honest about that business and the ups and downs. You talked about with such vulnerable topics of kind of finding your voice and realizing that you didn't, you were missing some things or wanted to, really kind of find your voice, both financially, but also out here adding value and realizing that you had something to offer, that you could learn new things, that you could be new at something again and succeed.
It's exciting.
You can follow directions, and that you don't have to, know everything, but you can
Yes,
learn,
you can.
and that your brain still works. It still is
It's
cranking.
pulling the cobwebs out so you can make room a little bit.
I like to say spraying the WD-40, just
Yeah.
getting those gears turning again.
The other thing, it's real quick, it's also getting past your own guilt in a way. Like, I have so many people walk in and go, what a beautiful studio. Oh my God, you're living the dream. You're living the dream. And I say, yeah, I am. But that doesn't mean there's not something missing. And I could always want more, or I could want something different as well. What's perfect to somebody is not necessarily perfect to everybody. And I am living my dream, but I also have big dreams that I'm not achieving yet, and I want to strive for. So don't give up, even if you think, oh, I put everything into this brick and mortar. You can always dream more and bigger, and it's a good thing to do. Strive for more every day.
I love that. And I think that's a beautiful place to end, because sometimes as adults, we lose that playfulness and that dreaming and thinking bigger and that imagination. And we just sort of settle for what kind of we have and think that's it. And
Yes.
it is a beautiful,
And it could be good, but
yeah, of course. And it's nice to be grateful for what we have, but
yeah.
that playfulness, that imagining, that dreaming, that wanting more is such a healthy human thing.
Yes.
It's so within our nature to have that. And
Yes.
I think society kind of breaks us down and makes us,
Yeah. Yeah.
think
Sad.
we need to be, quiet little boys and girls and not really complain too much or not really want too much, right? Because then we're being kind of greedy or rich or, whatever. And it's like, man, that striving for more. And it's so inspiring to hear people of all ages on this show every morning
Yeah.
saying, yeah, I want more. I'm tired of settling. I don't want to settle. I want to dream. I want to imagine. I want to strive. I want to grow. I want to learn. And that really is what keeps us feeling young and keeps us,
Right.
being healthy and mentally and emotionally healthy. It's good self-care for us to want to learn. This is a journey not just of trying to make a buck, but of self-care. Hey, take care of yourself.
Very much so.
Learn, go out there and try something new, go out there and spread your wings a little bit, risk something so you feel alive, and you're just
failure is not trying, not succeeding. It's not trying. That's failure to me. And I've always been an entrepreneur kind of mindset. And I think for my kids, that was the message, is saying, it doesn't matter if you make succeed in it, you've tried, and that makes you not failing. You have to keep trying things. That just says check off what you don't want to do. Then let's hit the next one, So yeah, it's a good.
Judy,
thank you so much.
Pleasure. It's been a pleasure. And Suzanne says, thank you, Judy, for the best interview for me ever. Thank you, Judy and Dave. Amazing interview. Connie says, so amazing. Spoke to me. Thank you, Judy. Well done. You are blessed, Judy. Keep it up. Great interview. I have been watching you. Love your videos. Judy, you are a legend. So inspirational. Judy, you rock. So
you gotta make me cry. Stop it.
I'm 58 and on fire. I feel you and see you. This interview was amazing. Thank you, Judy and Dave. We appreciate Judy for sharing that. Got a lot from this. Thank you so much, Dave and Judy. And they just, thanks, Judy. Needed to hear this. Tech savvy needs to leave, not tech savvy, I think needs to leave my thought process. Love her attitude. As a Gen X, Judy, you are my new inspiration. Thank you. Love, you're so real, Judy. I know the love is real. The love is real. The feels are all up in here. All right, Judy. Well, listen, come back and see me.
I will.
And go read some of these wonderful comments. You all are so sweet to leave these for.
Thank you, everybody.
And Judy. And
see, that's what I needed. I needed to hear that, because sometimes you get in your own head,
for real. That's the liking gap. Remember, you don't realize, you think people like us less than they really do. And you're on fire. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. And you are a great inspiration to us. So keep up the great work. Okay. See you.
Thanks, Dave.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, my friends, go and follow Judy over on Instagram at Digital Marketing with Judy Ann. And you will be able to find and follow Judy on her journey and continue to be inspired by her and continue to learn from her and continue to support her in her journey as well. You can find her at TikTok at Judy the Affiliateer, AFFILIATER, Judy the Affiliateer. Over on Instagram, Digital Marketing with Judy Ann. And we've had that up on the screen for you to find and follow throughout this whole episode. Marco says, awesome show. Rosanna says, thank you, Dave, for bringing Judy on the show. Just followed her. Have a great day. You're amazing. Totally. Thank you. Super helpful for me today. Great job, Judy. I loved your story. P.S. I'm older than you. LOL. Congratulations. Love what this community is about. Great interview. The confidence level is amazing. Judy, thanks, y'all. I feel seen and heard. Dave and Judy, stay legendary. All of the above. All right, my friends, these comments mean the world to us. Thanks for leaving them for us to feel also seen and heard and validated, for getting on here and sort of spilling our hearts and souls out to you all this morning. And it makes us feel like it's all worthwhile doing. I'd love to talk to Judy. I really would, one-on-one, but it makes it all the more fun when we have all these wonderful comments flowing in for us to feel the love back. So have a fantastic day, my friends. We'll be back tomorrow for another episode. As always, stay legendary. Have a fantastic, Tuesday? Have a wonderful Tuesday. I believe it's the 2nd day of October. Let's make this month wonderful and end spooky. Okay, and have a great start to our holiday season. Get out of here. Stay legendary. Love you all. Peace.